Hello, welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to be testing out a full face of new Drugstore makeup. I think, do you know what? Some of it is new to me. I don't know if it's brand new, as in just come out, but it's definitely new to me. There are some bits that are brand new, and there's also some bits here that I've been asked to review. So I'm going to start off by just giving my face a bit of hydration. So I'm going to be using this one here, the Pixi Hello Kitty Hydrating Milky Mist. So I reviewed the setting spray, the pink liquid one, a couple of videos back, like Drugstore or new makeup videos back, and I wasn't so keen on the spray on it. The actual mist, as in the product itself, was pretty good. It was really nice. It was just the actual mister or the spray that I wasn't keen on. It was like really aggressive. So I had a quick look at this, and it seems like it's really fine, like completely different. If this mister was on the other product, it would be perfect. So I'm just gonna pop some of this on. I do prefer to use like a serum mist or a toning mist or something as a primer for my makeup. With me being like on the drier side, I find them to be so much better, you know, for giving me that hydration, getting rid of any like little dry patches or anything like that. Yeah, that's really nice. Definitely gives a really pretty glow. And yeah, it feels nice and hydrated. You know, it feels like a milky toner. So this is the Loreal Brow Lamination, up to 24 hours it says, which is a brow gel. And it has like a little spoolie like this, with obviously the brow gel in there. I've heard amazing things about this, like it's got really good hold. Also have one of these here. So I've tried this before, but it was a darker shade. This one's a bit lighter. The last one I had was like far too dark for me. In fact, I've run out of my favorite brow pen, and it's a K-beauty product. I didn't realize I was so low. It just suddenly like ran out, and I was like, oh no. And obviously I have to order it from, you know, like Style Korean, Olive Young or somewhere, which takes a while to come, like a week. So I picked up one from Primark, it was, in the meantime, which is okay to be fair. It's a little bit dark. But anyway, I'm blabbering. So this one is the Faux Brow from L'Oreal, and it's the one with the little double prong on it. And this one is in, I think this one's a light brown. That's the only thing with these. I've taken it out of the packaging, and they don't actually have the shade name on the pen itself, which is a little bit annoying really. Oh, it does now. It does. It didn't on the old ones, didn't. Light brunette. Yeah. So yeah, light brown, as I say. Right, let's start off with the gel then. So what I tend to do, my brows are horrendous at the moment. I do normally tint them, but I've been so busy recently that I just haven't had time to do anything for myself really. I didn't upload any like long form videos last week. I've just been so overwhelmed with stuff, personal stuff, you know. I've just moved house basically. So yeah, I've had a lot going on, like leaving the old place and then obviously moving to the new one. And yeah, but hopefully we're all sorted now. So back on track. Yeah, I need to tint my brows. So that's what I do. I kind of go back, get the product right in there, you know, right to the root, and then just go up like this. And then I go over to the other side and do the same, because then that gives them time to just sit a bit. And then I just take, well, there's not much product left on here now. So I just use this really to neaten up around the edge. That's a really good brow gel. You know, if you've got thick brow hairs and they're a bit unruly, should we say, I reckon this would be really good. Mine are very, I've got blonde brow hairs, as you can see. Yeah, they're quite fine. So they tend to do what I want them to be quite honest with you. But if you do have like really thick, coarse hairs, I actually think that this would work as well for you. But no, that's a really good brow gel. Feels really nice. Right, I'm gonna let that kind of do its thing for a bit, dry down properly, and we'll move on to eyeshadow in the meantime. And I have this is tiny. A lot It is called Tiny Treasures. Maybe it's supposed to be tiny, but I expected this to be bigger. I'm not going to lie. But this is from Catrice, a brand that I have not tried for ages. I used to love their makeup, still do. I just forgot all about them. And Essence. I've got a few Essence products here as well. But yeah, this one is the Tiny Treasures eyeshadow palette. It looks so pretty. Really nice mauvey shades. How pretty do these shimmers look here? So this one is Wild Berry 02. So yeah, there's the shades with the cover off. Aren't they lovely? Really nice. We've got this really nice smoky grey here. As I say, these lovely, like that's a bit of a berry tone. And then this mauve, a really nice neutral shade. And these really pretty shimmers. I'll give them a quick swatch as well, actually. Do you know what? They're really nice, aren't they? Really nice and pigmented, beautifully soft, like the matte shades were really soft and the shimmers are stunning, beautiful. So I think what I'm going to do is start off by going into the grey shade just here, and I'm going to take that through my crease. Yeah, just through, concentrating more on the outer part of my crease and then just taking through whatever's left on the brush, sort of to about 2/3 of the way in. That's a really nice grey actually, really nice. And the pigment is beautiful. You can see just from tapping it on, and that's going in just the once. You know, it's really beautiful quality. I do like Catrice makeup. As I said, I just forgot all about it, to be honest. I think that's really nice. Only went in on the one dip on both sides, so really impressed with that. I'm then going to take the mauve, like the middle one just here, and take that onto the outer part of the lid. My favourite kind of shade, this one. I love colours like this. Yeah, that's really nice. You can definitely see the colour. Sometimes I find with these kind of shades, you know, they're either wishy-washy, as in you have to really pack it on and build them up, or yeah, they're just not great, to be honest. Sometimes, not always, but yeah, this one's definitely got, you know, it packs a punch. You can see it. Oh, look how nicely it blends into that grey as well. That is beautiful, really nice. So I'm just going to go into the kind of neutral shade, and I'm going to take that around the edge just here, just to kind of phase it out a bit. Yeah, that's worked really well. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a bit of shimmer on the inner corner. I think I'm just going to go for this one, you know, because the other one is quite dark, and I just feel like on that inner corner it's going to be almost a bit too dark. Start off with a brush and see how we get on, but it's one of those like creamy type formulas. So, oh no, that's going on really nice. Look at that. Really nice with the brush. Yeah, probably need to get right into that inner corner with my finger, but apart from that, that's going on an absolute treat. I love how that's turned out. I think that's really pretty, really nice, so effortless as well. What a lovely little palette. Yeah, tiny but mighty. Right, so we'll do some mascara, and I have this one here. So this is from Loreal as well, and it's the new Extensionist mascara. So this is the Telescopic, it says there. You know, the gold Telescopic. This one's kind of like the newest version, so the telescopic version basically. No, the Extensionist version, but yeah, it's like this, the wand, which is pretty cool. It's got a bit of a curve to it. And then these really tiny, short, stubby bristles. Love the look of this. Just give my lashes a quick curl. Right, let's go in. So I tend to love these types of wand with the curve to them, because you can get right in, like to the root of the lash. And then because it has that curve, like that natural contour that the eye has, it pulls up like perfect. It's really hard to explain. I'm sure you know what I mean. Like where it curves round, and you find that you don't really miss any lashes because of that, which I really like. But yeah, so far so good. It's definitely getting every lash. And again, what I love about these thin ones as well is that you can get right in to those inner corner ones, you know, the ones that you usually miss, and pick those up. I still get it on my lid. Naturally, always do. I'll get rid of that in a minute, but yeah, I think that's really nice. It has gone a little bit clumpy though. Yeah, so look, one coat. So with compared to without, which I think is quite a difference actually. Nice. And there is 2 coats now on both lashes. That's really good, isn't it? It is a little bit on the clumpy side, I would say, not massively. You know, I don't think they look like, you know, spider's legs or anything like that, but it has kind of like clumped a few of them together. Yeah, but saying that, I do like it. I do think it's nice. I don't mind a little bit of clumping, not a little bit, as long as it's, as I say, not like, you know, stupidly like thick black. It's, yeah, it's okay to have a little bit of clump. So I'm going to move on to foundation now. I haven't forgotten about my brows. I'm going to do that after foundation. So I've got this one here. This is one, I can't remember who it was, but someone asked me to try this. But yeah, so we're going to do that today. And it's the Essence Skin Tint. This one is the Hydrating Natural Finish SPF 30 light to medium coverage. 30 ml. That's not bad actually. Give it a little shake. Hopefully, it looks a little bit warm, but hopefully it'll be all right. We'll see. So I'm going to take about that much, I think. It's quite a runny consistency. Yeah, not overly though. You know, it's fine. It does look a little bit warm. So I'm going to go on. Oh, it's not actually that warm at all. I think that's going to be pretty much perfect, you know. Do you know what? I posted, this is why, it's like when I post on TikTok, the reception that I get and the, just in general, like, I don't like it. I really don't like TikTok, if I'm honest. It's one of those things, I post on there because I post on shorts and then I post on like reels as well. And yeah, because I've already done it, I just post it on there. But it's not like, you know, certainly not my favourite platform. Let's just say that people, it's like they feel like they have free reign to say whatever the hell they want about people. And don't get me wrong, I don't get like loads of trolling or anything like that. I don't think I'm big enough for anything like that. But yeah, I do get like people that say, oh, I posted the Armani foundation the other day. The amount of people that said, oh, that's not your shade. And I'm like, I literally showed it like that, like compared to my neck. I've said many times I have rosacea. It's quite apparent, like you can see it, you know. I've said many times on this channel as well about my rosacea. And yeah, every time I put on like a base product, it always looks like lighter until the end, like when it's all blended, it always looks lighter than it should be. Because, yeah, because of my redness and everything in my skin. But then obviously, you know, if you watch when it's all applied and everything, it blends perfectly into my neck and it's like a seamless shade, should we say. But yeah, the amount of people that are like, they just, I'm sure they like watch for like 2 seconds and I'm like, oh, that's not your shade, and then flick on to the next video. But I think today, if that was me, I suppose I come from like a place where it's, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. You just never know, do you, who's on the other side of that camera and what they're feeling that day. But yeah, but as for this foundation, it's blooming gorgeous. Look at that. Wow, that is stunning. Really, really nice. Do you know what? That's one of the nicest skin tints I've used in ages. So whoever it was that recommended me to try this, thank you very much, because that is beautiful. And obviously being Essence, it's really affordable as well. My word. Really nice and glowy. Wow, look at that. Stunning. I haven't even used a sponge, you know. Normally I go over it with a sponge just to kind of really blend it into my skin. But I feel like I don't really need to. It's almost blended itself, if anything. Oh my goodness, I love that. That is beautiful. Really, really nice. Let me show you. So that was without. So obviously loads of redness. My hyperpigmentation is actually pretty much gone now, thanks to my skincare. But yeah, loads of redness, blotchiness. And then on this side, a lot more even. It's not going to be completely flawless because it's a medium coverage or light to medium. I'd say it's more on the medium side, you know, but it is definitely more even looking and it just looks so nice. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love that. So that's what it's like all over. I think that is really lovely. Like really nice. As I say, it's not a full cover, but I prefer that anyway. I don't like, you know, looking like I'm caked in foundation or anything. I prefer a lighter, sort of more natural coverage, which is exactly what this is. It is my cup of tea for sure. It is beautiful. Really, really nice. So before I move on, we will just finish up the brows. So we're going on with this faux brow. So yeah, if I show you, sort of do a few little flicky flicks like that. You see, it's so fine. It's really nice. That shade actually does look better. It is a lighter shade, so hopefully it won't look as dark as the other one did. Let's just do a bit of the front first. Really light-handed. It's so easy to go in too heavy with these. That's the only thing. And obviously, because you've got the two prongs, you can do two at the same time. That's actually all right. It blends in pretty well with how my brows are when they're not wet, but you know, when they've got the gel on, they look a little bit darker than they naturally do. The only thing I'll say so far is that by the time I've done this brow, there isn't much product left. Oh, yeah, this is what I found with the other one. And look, it kind of, when you shake it, it comes out, like it spits out quite a lot of products, and then obviously you wipe it off. And then you've kind of wasted that product. But I do feel like it looks natural, which I like. Yeah, especially at the front here, you know, where I don't really have any growth at the front there. It does look really nice and natural, like brow hairy. Yeah, that colour's way better for me than the other one. I think the other one was medium brown, but that seemed to be a lot darker than the light brown. For bronzer, I have these from Revolution. So these are the new bronze icon palette. So these have literally just come out like a couple of weeks ago. I have got the Divine Fair and the golden medium one here. I have already tried this one in a short form. But I will say that even though this one looks a lot darker than this one actually blended out really nicely. Although I did feel, looking back at the videos, that it was probably a bit too dark for me. So I'm going to try this Divine Fair one today. So these ones are like the blush icons, you know, they were the same. They had like cream, powder, and then like a blush lighter or a blush topper. Stunning, really nice. Love those. I have like two of those already. But yes, we've got a highlighter, and then we have a powder, bronzer, and a cream as well. I do like how it has this little cover on it because you know, you can't get your powder in it, if you know what I mean. So yes, we've got this one here is the cream. So like that looks really nice actually. And then the powder also looks really nice. I think this one's going to be better for me, you know. And then the highlighter, which on the other one was like blinding, is also blinding. Yeah, really nice. That is more my shade of highlighter, more of a champagne, whereas the other one is more of a, like a, almost an antique gold. Right, so I'm going to start off with the cream one. I'll just use my hand just to blend it into the brush better. And then we use this one. Just do this side for now. I'm just going to press it into the skin to start off with. Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. I know it's not like much of an impact, but for me, I kind of prefer that. I don't like the solid sort of almost contoury bronze look. Yeah, I just prefer it to look a bit more subtle, I suppose. Yeah, that's better. It is actually slightly cooler than the other one. This is more on the contour side, I would say. I don't know, actually, you could probably get away with both. It's got a bit of warmth to it, but not a lot. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see the difference. It's not in your face like the other one was, but as I say, I do kind of prefer that. So we get this sort of, you know, slight bronze Compared to this side, obviously it's a bit more flat, you know, it's all one-dimensional. And then on this side, we can definitely see that little bit of sculpt just there, and a little bit, not too much around the forehead, but a little bit around the forehead. But front on, you can definitely see, especially around here, the difference between the two sides. As I say, I've not contoured with it. I didn't go low enough for contour. I did use it on the bronzer areas, but I do feel like it's given me that little bit of something as well. So there, we can see a bit more on that side now. I do tend to take my powder sort of to there, just to, yeah, because I'm not very good at blending on this bit. I think it's because my face shape is a bit like a moon. So I just struggle with it. I don't really have cheekbones, so I don't think I do. Probably would if I lost a few stone, but yeah, I just don't feel like I have much shape to my face. So when it comes to doing like contour and bronzer and stuff like that, I really struggle to like get that natural shape. And that's why I get my powder and I almost cut that bit off just to make it look like I've got that shape to it. That sounds awful. Right, I'm going to go into the powder one next. So that'll be the one in the middle. Oh, wow, that's picked up a lot on there. Wowzers. I don't need all that. Right, and then we will just... I was going to take a small amount, but I did seem to pick up rather a lot. It's nice though. Do you know what? The bronzer, like the powder bronzer, is a lot better of a shade for me than the other one. I think if anything, do you know what? I would probably dip into the cream on the other one for the bronzer, because I just felt like this one was a bit more of a contour than a bronze. And the bronzer on this one, the powder on the other one was a little bit too dark for me, but the cream I feel was better. Yeah, see, that's nice. I do like the powder. I think that's really pretty. So I've just gone on with a bit of my NYX Wonder Snatch powder, and we are going to do a blush next. And for that, I have this little palette from Catrice here. Another one that I've seen really good things about. This is the Balm blush palette. So like this, and this one is Blush Blindness. I think they did like 2 or 3 different versions, like shade wise of these. But yeah, this one is 010 Blush Blindness. So looks like that. So very much like, you know, the, what is it, Makeup. It's not a brand that we have in the UK. I think we do actually now in Sephora. But yeah, Makeup Forever. Forever Makeup Forever, something like that. But it's like a dupe for that anyway. Again, I will say that these are much smaller than I expected them to be. I mean, that's fine. They're still decent. You know, they're decent sized pans. But in the picture, like online where I bought this from, it looked like it was bigger. I don't know. I think I might go for this one, you know, at the bottom here, this really nice peachy shade. So I'm just going on with this brush here. I'm going to pick it up on there first. The only thing is, because of the size of the pans, it's quite hard to kind of get my brush in there. I feel like I need a teeny tiny brush, and then I'm going to tap that on the back of my hand, and then we will just go on as normal. That's a pretty shade. That's right. I do feel like I've picked up a bit of the pink from the other side though. It's a bit more pinkier than it looks. I think I've kind of got a bit of a mixture here. But yeah, we'll go with it. It's fine. Yeah, it's drying down actually quite matte, which I like. Pretty. That's really nice. For highlighter, I have this one here. So this is from Wet n Wild, another brand that I've not used for ages. I went on to, what was it, Just My Look, basically, and I was looking for the skin tint, you know, that I was recommended. And while I was on there, I was like, these brands I forgot all about, like Wet n Wild, Catrice, Essence. And yeah, I put a few bits in my basket because I thought, well, I used to absolutely love them, so why not? So this is the Megaglo Illuminator. So this one here, again, I think it came in a few different shades, looks like this. This reminds me of the Merit Day Glow highlighter, which is kind of like one of my everyday products. It doesn't feel like it though. It's a lot more, it's really nice actually. It's a lot more shimmery than the Day Glow, and it's not as melty. That one's really melty. I'm going to use my finger as I would with the other one. This is quite firm, I would say, and pick up that much, I guess, and we'll go on. Don't know about this one. It's definitely not giving what I was hoping it would give, which shows that really nice, like natural, glowy highlighter, which is what I normally get from like a cream or a liquid highlighter, and that's the kind of thing I absolutely love. It's not really showing up much at all, to be honest with you. Let me try the other side, because sometimes one side shows up better than the other. I don't think it is. I think that's kind of like my natural high point, and the light's hitting it a bit better on that side. I'm not a fan of that. That's a real shame. I could feel though, you know, when I was going on with my finger to start off with, I thought, yeah, this isn't the same at all. Like if you use the Merit one, it almost, you put your finger on it and it's like, it just melts. That's the only way I can explain it. It just melts and it looks stunning on. And it's one of those easy ones that you can just reach for, go bang, 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 and then, yeah, you're done basically, which is why I love it. But yeah, that's nowhere near the same. I know it's not, you know, a dupe of that or whatever, but I was hoping it would be almost a little bit similar. But yeah, I'm just not getting it at all. So with that in mind, we'll go back into this Revolution one and we'll use this highlighter. Okay, so just give a little sweep through there. As I say, this on the other one was super intense, but pretty at the same time. And then we will take this one instead. Oh yeah. See, that's really nice. I'm just gonna very gently blend that. Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. Really nice, actually. Love the shade. And then I'll show you on this side again. That's beautiful. It has stuck a little bit where I've got that other highlighter underneath, which I don't think it would do in normal circumstances. There we go. Oh, look at that. The way it just like, when I turn my head, look, that is how a highlighter should be. You know, it's like when it catches the light, you can see it, not just a little stripe on the face. Oh, that's stunning. Beautiful. Really, really nice. Love the shade as well. I much prefer that one to the shade on the other one for me. This one, like the antique gold on like a more tanned skin tone or a deeper skin tone, to be honest with you, would be stunning. It's just, for me, it's a little bit too much. Very lastly, for lips, I have this one from Catrice. So this is the Colour Cushion. And I think this is a dupe of the Rode. I think, do Rode do one like this? I think they do. Or have I got that completely wrong? I don't have anything from Rode, you know. I don't know, I've never really bought into it. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a twist. It's going to be one of those ones. Oh, here we go. Like this. I'm not going to use a liner. I'm going to go straight on with this. Oh, it feels really nice actually with the little cushion. It's definitely a kind of like a balmy product, like a really natural. Love the colour. Oh, that's really nice, isn't it? Look at that. Stunning. Love that. I love the colour. Juicy lip oil. So it's a lip oil. Anything I find with lip oils, they don't last long enough. So I'm trying to find the shade name and I can't see it. Oh, it's on here. It's on the lid. Baywatch. So like that. Bay as in, you know, B-A-E. Watch. Yeah. Beautiful. Really nice, like just a pinky nude. Yeah. I love it though. I think that's stunning. But yeah, as I say, you don't need a lip liner with it. It is one of those ones that you can just keep in your handbag, just bring it out and just use as and when you want to. I think that's lovely. So here is the finished look. And yeah, do you know what? Overall, I do really like it. It's a very natural look. That's fine. You know, that's absolutely fine by me. As in by the base, I think the eyes aren't as natural, but the base is definitely more natural. I do like it though. I think it's really pretty. Love this. This is so nice, this skin tint. As I say, one of the nicest skin tints I've used in a long time, and I can't remember what it was, like £4 or something. Ridiculous, really nice. The bronzer palettes, lovely, they're nice. As I said before though, I do feel like the cream from this one is more me, whereas the powder from this one is more me. The powder on this one's a little bit too dark. So I feel like I need to go between the two, if I'm being honest. This highlighter's too deep for me, whereas this one is beautiful. Love this. The blush was nice. I do think that was nice. Not quite as good as I was expecting it to be. I've seen a few people really rave about this, and I thought it was going to be like really pigmented, but I didn't quite get that from it. But there we go. It's still nice though, and I will still use it. This though, yeah, that was kind of like a bit pointless. I just felt like it just didn't give anything at all. Love the eyeshadow. That is stunning, really nice. I feel like I need to get more of these actually in different shades. Was that it? Oh, the brow products, love, and the mascara, beautiful. So as always, I will link all the products shown in today's video in the description box below for you, along with any discount codes as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate it. It means the absolute world to me if you did enjoy watching this video, and if you'd like to see more content from me in the future, and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye.